Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Weekly Energy Living Kabbalah in the portion of Shemot. And every week we want to know what kind of opportunities are available to us, how we can connect more to ourselves, connect more to the Creator, fulfill the mission of our soul's purpose of why we're here. Learn lessons, develop virtues, be more proactive, become a much more proactive being. If you can hear it, something with just raise the volume, then I think that's it. Before we start, we want to start with a meditation. Let's all close our eyes, become more connected to our internal self, open our consciousness, open our soul, open our energy to be able to receive the light, the wisdom, the consciousness that we need. We want to create a force all together right now, wherever we might be in the world. One unified force that is revealing light, revealing joy, unconditional love, healing for the entire world, wisdom, acceptance, abundance, prosperity. And become stronger conduits of the light in this world. So we are in a very special week. We're starting a new book. I highly recommend, if you don't have, to have the book, the Kabbalistic Bible, or it's also called the Chumash. It's basically all the translation with all the Kabbalistic commentary for this week's portion. And we start a new portion called Shemot, and the book is called, the book and the name of the portion are the same. The name of the book is Shemot, and the name of the portion is the same. It's called Shemot. It's the second book. It's connecting us to Chokhmah. So the first book was Keter. The first book of Genesis or Bereshit is connecting us to Keter. And right now we're connecting to Chokhmah, to the second level. It's the Keter of Chokhmah this week. So the beginning of the second revelation. And its name is very special. In English, it's called Exodus. However, in Hebrew, it's called Shemot. Exodus, because of what's really happening in the portion. In Hebrew, it's still called Shemot, which literally means names, which is a very big secret, and it's only revealed to the Kabbalists. Why? We're also in a special time called Shovavim. This is not any regular time. It's a special time for Kabbalists. It's called Shovavim. So we're going to talk about that. And also, we're finally coming to the second half of the month of Capricorn. So we're closing the month of Capricorn. We want to know more about that. Also, what is the month of Capricorn? What kind of energy it has? And what kind of opportunities we have this whole week. So the portion, the whole book, it talks about the Israelites leaving the slavery in Egypt. So Jacob and his sons entered Egypt last week. And this week, they are already in full slavery. They became as kings almost because of Joseph. And this week's portion, they become slaves. They are, ridden with so much work, so much hard work, and constantly being accused by Pharaoh, by the Egyptians, that they're not working enough. And very special person is born in this week's portion. It's Moshe, right? Moses, the highest prophet that Kabbalistically that has ever been in this world, is born in this week's portion to his mother Yocheved and her husband Amram. And it's a very special story also. There's the story of how the astrologers of Pharaoh tell him that there's going to be a leader born to the Israelites that's going to basically destroy you, and that's going to destroy Egypt, and he's going to also take the people out of Egypt, all the Israelites. So he makes a decree, Pharaoh makes a decree to kill all newborn babies. And there's a special story, it's all called, of course, where the midwives save all the firstborn sons, and eventually Moses is born, and his mom hides him for 3 months, it says. It's very interesting that it says the 3 months, and actually the one of the months when Yocheved hid him was this month, was Tevet. The 3 months that are mentioned, it's the month of Capricorn, Leo, and Cancer. It's the months where the Shekhinah is not present, where the safety, where the ozone, spiritual ozone layer is not present. So there's more judgment in the world. And Pharaoh's daughter, Batya, is also appearing in this week's portion, and she saves Moses. She sees him, his mom puts him in a cradle into the Nile. We know the cradle also means the Zor, actually. And Batya sees him and saves him, and basically helps him become the Prince of Egypt, where that cartoon comes from, Prince of Egypt. And then, long story short, there's a very special part in this week's portion also where Moses uses one of the letters, one of the names from 72, from the 42 letter name from Ana Bekoach, which is Yud Kaf Shin, to destroy a negative person. So this is one of the times when we are shown the power of the names, that with these names you can actually transform consciousness, reality, and physical world. So Moses uses this name where he destroys this Egyptian, and then eventually it's found out and he has to flee the country, and he runs away to Midian, another country in Africa, where he finally meets his soulmate, also Tzipporah, has 2 sons, meets his father-in-law. His name is Reuel in this portion. Eventually it's also Jethro, who has a portion named after him, who's going to be also coming up. And the Creator shows himself to Moses, and in the burning bush incident, which occurs for a whole week, where Moses and the Creator argue, going back and forth. The Creator's telling him that he's chosen as the chosen one to lead people out. Moses tells him, no, I'm not the best version, you should pick somebody else. Moses was a Pisces, he's born on the 7th of Adar, as we know. And he shows the stubbornness of a sign of Pisces that they can have sometimes. And he also, there's a secret name that's revealed, Asher Ayeh, which is a letter, which is a combination for creating miracles whenever we need it. And again, after that, Moses eventually agrees. There's another incident where it says that the Creator or the angel of death wanted to kill Moses because one of his sons was not circumcised, and Tzipporah, his wife, being the righteous woman that she is, she circumcises her son on the spot and saves Moses. And Moses comes to land of Egypt and starts to basically tell the Israelites that I'm here to save you, I'm here to take you out, because the Creator has heard your cry because of the hard work that you're doing, and we're gonna come out of Egypt. So many lessons, literally non-stop lessons. But what we want to focus on is the biggest secret that Rav revealed about this portion, is the whole idea of names, the name of a portion. That this book, the whole book of Shemot, connects us to energy of letters, connects us to energy of Hebrew letters, their power and their ability to help us change our life, change our destiny, basically. And for Kabbalists, the Hebrew Aleph Bet is not just a language. It's not just something that is used to communicate or to write. It's actually the DNA code, the DNA frequencies of this entire universe. Not just of physical things, but also of consciousness. So it's not just something that helps us transform physical things, but actually consciousness. And the biggest revelation that we're going to have in this whole book is the revelation of before the splitting of the Red Sea, which is in portion Beshalach, and it's 72 names. So the Kabbalists are really telling us that 72 names is something that we want to basically use this month, this week, this whole period as much as we possibly can. Now, what are letters? It's very interesting that what are letters, the Kabbalistic letters? The letters are actually perfect vessels. So we all know the concept of a vessel, right? We all know what's a vessel. We know that vessel is what receives light, what can hold light, right? We are vessels, right? Everything besides the creator is really a vessel. There's just vessels that are higher, which are basically big vessels, but have a lot of desire to share. So they are able to transmit more, right? So why do we, for example, tell people that it's good to volunteer and share and give? Because they go from a state of being a vessel to the state of being a giver. It's the two energies that exist, the giver and the receiver. The creator is always associated with the giver, right? The positive pole, the one that provides, that gives. It's more, it's not that it's man, but it's male energy, right? Female energy is about the vessel, is about receiving. And the letters are actually perfect vessels. What does it mean, perfect vessels? It means that they are complete conduits. They don't have any interruption. For example, the letter Dalet is channeling a specific energy, the energy of strength, of humbleness, and nothing else. So that's why when we connect, Michael Berg a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, he shared it at Shabbat lecture, the connecting to essence of things. When we connect to letters, we connect to the essence of whatever it is that we're connecting to. Now, we are given a tremendous amount of tools, a tremendous amount of combinations of these letters, with which we're able to change our consciousness. And we always need to remember that the point of why we're studying, the point of why we're here, the point of why we're alive is constant progression, constant change, constant evolution of ourselves. This is why we're here. And what is the main lesson for us? We can study all we want, we can read all we want, but we always want to boil it down to a place where we understand, okay, what is it right now in my life that I need to change? What is it right now that the creator, that the universe, that I am ready to change, to transform, in order for me to go to my next level? This is the main point of spirituality. This is the main point of spirituality. The point of spirituality is when I understand that the transformation, the progression, the change is in me, and more specifically in my consciousness. This is the main point that we always want to remember. This is why we're here. This is how we can influence the world. This is how we can change the world. This is how we can influence the world in a better place, in a better way. This is how we can reveal light. This is how we can change anything in our life. Whatever in your life you label as not working, quote unquote, is not working because of our consciousness. There's nothing else besides that. And the book of Shemot, it connects us to the ability, to the blessing that we have as Kabbalists of tools that help us change our consciousness with these letters. So when I know the 72 names, for example, I know all of them by heart. I studied them even before becoming a teacher. I learned all the 72 names. I know their definition. I knew what they meant. And it's actually something that is essential, that each and every single one of us needs to make a commitment to learn all the 72 names until it's in 4 weeks where we have actual revelation. So we want to, as an assignment, we want to take upon ourselves that we take the 72 names of God chart and we learn whatever ones that we don't know yet. And especially the names that call out to us. Because as you study spirituality, your psychic ability, your level of intuition, it needs to be increasing also. Meaning physical objects will be talking to you, not talking to you directly, but will call out to you. For example, I sometimes, in the morning, when I pick what to wear, I don't try to pick, I ask the clothes, what should I What do you guys think? Who should I wear today? Who's going to help me the most today? When I go into, for example, I went and I love crystals, right? I love using crystals for meditation, for classes. So when I went into my little crystal collection today, I looked and two immediately spoke to me. So I didn't even have to choose like, oh, I'm gonna get these and etc. They talk to us, which is something that the Rav says in 10 Luminous Emanations, that everything has consciousness. Everything has consciousness. Everything. And this week's portion, we understand that even letters have consciousness. Very high level of consciousness also. They're not just simple consciousness that is just, like, I don't know, nothing, I don't want to discriminate anything that has low level of consciousness, but letters have very high level of consciousness. They're perfect conduits of light of the creator. They're perfect vessels. So for example, the letter Hey. Letter Hey is a very special letter. I realize I would love to have these letters in front of me to show you. I actually do have them. So for example, the letter Hey, it's a very special letter. It's part of the letters that are in the name of the creator. One second, I apologize. I'm gonna get my phone so I can show you the letter. So the letter Hey has a consciousness of a perfect vessel, actually. Why? I'm gonna zoom in and show you guys the letter Hey. So this is a certain combination, but the one that's in the middle, the letter that's in the middle, this is letter Hey. And if you see, it actually does look like it's a perfect vessel where the light can come in here, and flow out here. You see? So each letter is a level of consciousness. That's why the Kabbalists use letters so much. That's why Kabbalists are telling people to use letters so much. That's why the Rav used to call the letters nanorobots, nanotechnology, right? Nanotechnology means nanorobots that are on a nano level, which is basically atomic level, where you would be able to manipulate and tell these robots to transform, for example, this book into anything, into a toaster, the Rav used to say, because of these nanorobots, because you are reassembling the atomic structure of something. So you're able to control something on its most subatomic level. Now, the Rav used to say that actually the most powerful nanorobots in this world are the letters, are the Hebrew letters. Aramaic, Hebrew, it doesn't matter. It's not really, doesn't make a difference how you call them. These letters are the ultimate nanorobots that exist in this world, are the most powerful nanorobots that exist in the world. Now, obviously, we want to tie it in with the idea that everything is about consciousness, right? So is it okay to just look at the letters and ask for a miracle without asking to change anything in yourself? Yes, actually, yes, it is, because you are connecting to level of mercy when you're looking at letters, and you can be asking for a miracle. But really, the biggest miracle, I hope every one of us knows this, the biggest miracle in this world is the change of consciousness. The change of consciousness, when you start to, and what is change of consciousness? When you start to be more proactive, when you are less and less of a victim, when you're not a victim of certain circumstances, meaning the reason why this is happening in my life, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying it's somebody's fault. I'm not blaming the energy. I'm not blaming anything. I'm saying I can change it with my consciousness. This is the highest level of a human being that we can achieve, where you understand, and you're also in a state of great appreciation for this also. You're not just saying it and like kind of having, we can have resentment towards creator sometimes, right? We can say, I do so much, God, I do so much for you, I did this, I did that, and why don't you do these miracles for me? Why don't you help me? Why don't you assist me, right? That's a normal state. Normal, by the way, everyone. I go into that. Everyone goes into that. That's just the normal way of how the opponent or our false beliefs operate, right? They want us to go into this lowness, right? And it's fine to be in it sometimes, but we want to rise out of it. We want to raise and stand and be resilient at these times also. And we want to say, you know what? I can change this. I can be, by me being excited, by me being happy, by me being appreciative, and by me asking the question, what can I change? What can I transform in myself? What can I change in my consciousness? What can I transform in my consciousness? By me asking all these questions, I'm going to receive the answer. So, big accent this week, and the whole book is a lot about the letters. Is a lot about the combinations of letters, and there's so many different combinations. And I really, whoever will be on Ana Bekoach, we're gonna maybe start doing another prayer, short prayer that I like to do also in the morning after all my meditations. It's called the 22 letter. So there's so many different combinations. There is the 42 letter name, the Ana Bekoach. There's the 72 names of the Creator. There is the 22 letters. There's the Zohar. There's many, many different combinations of letters that create these miracles of transformation, miracles of change of our consciousness, miracle from going to a victim to owning it and being the creator and changing that also. So we want to take a minute, take a few seconds to think about, okay, what is it that in your life needs changing? Maybe you might be on a level where you already know that I need to change this in my consciousness. If you don't, if something is not working, then ask yourself, okay, so why is this not working? Why is this energy stuck? Why is there no movement in this area in my life? Just ask yourself this question. Don't try to answer it also. You don't want to be too much in a state of answering questions. You want to be more in a state of asking questions, not answering, but asking questions. What is my next level? What is ready for me to be changed? What false beliefs are ready for me to be changed, for me to be transformed, for me to be elevated, for me to be replaced? Be more conscious. Be awaken the creator within you. And before we continue, I want to read a little bit of Zohar also to invite Rabbi Shimon to our class. יציב רבי שמעון ורבי אלעזר ברך קיים ומפרש מילים דרזה וחכמייתא וחבו אנפוי נחירין כשמשה ומילין מתברדרין ותסין ברקיעה יטבו תרן יומים דלא יקלו ולא שתו ולא חבו ידיה אי חווה ימה או לילה כד נפקי ידהו דחוות הרן יומין דלא טעמו מדין. קרא על דה רבי שמעון ויחי שם עם השם 40 יום ו40 לילה לחם לא אכל וגו. ומה אי ענן בשעתה חדה כך משה דקרא אסחיד בית ויהי השם עם השם 40 יום וגו על אחד כמה וכמה. So, the goal is to identify what is it that I need to change? What is it that I need to transform? How can I be a better version of myself? How can I be a greater version of myself? What is the next version of myself? Also to be fully aware that we are always changing. I love to start my day and end my day also with a beautiful how's it called? Sentence, whatever, a mantra. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. You should say it as much as you want. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Let's all say it together. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. You want to constantly give yourself positive feedback. Because most of us, we give ourselves negative feedback and we criticize ourselves. And that's what the Satan does. That's what the opponent does. The beautiful thing about this world and what the Kabbalists teach us is that it doesn't matter what you do, we're eventually going to be in the good place. We're going to be reunified with the Creator, just the journey is different. For some people, it's more merciful, for the ones that have this consciousness of transformation. And for the ones that are in a state of victim, pointing fingers and blaming, etc., for them, it's going to be a very difficult journey. Why? Just being in that state is very difficult. Being in a state of victim is very heavy. Being in a state of being the effect, being the victim, blaming, pointing fingers, reactivity. This is heavy energy. The light energy is about being proactive, is about being not pointing fingers, not getting upset, not getting angry at people. This month is a lot about getting angry and upset. The Capricorn is a pretty victimized sign. They're not necessarily very proactive. Potentially very proactive, very spiritual, but initially they're much more blamers. Not in a bad way, but that's just who they are. We all are that way to one degree or another. So the level of consciousness that we really want to connect to this week is to take full ownership, full responsibility for my life. I am here to change and transform. I am here to become a better version of myself. That's what I'm here for. If I get angry, if I get upset, if I get frustrated, if all these things, it's only an indication that I need to work, that I need to grow and build my consciousness better. The more I point fingers, the harder my life will be. It's not because it's the actual pointing of the fingers, blaming other people. This is actually what's going to make my life heavy. Now, the very special that during what's the energy of 72 names? We're going to, obviously, in 4 weeks, we're going to talk about it much more in detail. But what is the energy of 72 names? So the Rav says that the 72 names, the easiest way to understand them is a security shield against Satan. So Satan is a force, right? It's a whole field. It's a whole energy force, the opponent. And he basically operates to cause problems in our life, right? He operates, his main goal is to cause hardship, to cause confusion, to blame more, to confuse us more, to be more in a victim state, to be more confused, to be like, why is this happening in my life? Why is this not fair, etc. So this is all the consciousness of Satan. Now, the 72 names is a firewall, is a protection shield that whenever I scan them, when I study them, when I connect my consciousness through my eyes to these letters, I'm building a better, stronger shield of protection against these forces, where ultimately I will look at everything in my life, even challenges, as a positive opportunity. Imagine looking at your life, at every single situation, and saying, wow, this is such a great opportunity. This is such an amazing opportunity for me. This is what a great gift I have to have this in my life. Like the Egyptians when they were in front of the Red Sea, if the person that went forward and kind of like stormed the sea, he was the one that split it. He was the one that split the sea using the 72 names. He wasn't in like, how's it gonna work? What's gonna do? I don't know what's happening, etc. Don't overthink it. Don't be too quote unquote smart in a bad way. You want to be smart, but you don't want to be too smart. You don't want to be thinking about it too much. You don't want to be analyzing about it too much. You want to use the 72 names to create this protection where you're not influenced by that energy so much of the opponent. And the opponent, again, it's individual to every one of us, but the opponent is blame, the opponent is victim, the opponent is hate, resentment, not forgiving, holding grudges, etc. All these things, that's the energy of opponent. That's equal for everyone. There's no one in this world for who a grudge or resentment or not forgiving is going to be a proactive thing. It's always going to be reactive. So that's why it's called names. This whole book, this whole portion, it's all about the names, the 72 names especially. Now also, the second book is connected to Chokhmah. Chokhmah is connected to wisdom. Chokhmah is connected to deep wisdom. It's also the first phase, right? There's 4 phases, as we know, through which the vessel is developed. This is the first phase. That's why the letters are perfect vessels, because they are first phase. They're just streams of consciousness. That's why it's essential for us to make the daily connections, right? To connect to Anabekor, to connect to 72 names, to connect to the Zohar, etc. And if you don't, it's just an indication of a lack of desire. This is really it. Because the more a person has a true desire, a healthy, good, big desire, they're gonna make the time to connect either to the 72 names, either to the 42 letter name, whatever it is, to make some connections. And to say that I don't have time, it's not for me, etc., it's an indication of a small desire. And it's also an indication that there's klipot. Klipot is forces that tell us, it's kind of like the supporting forces of the opponent that is telling you to, no, don't, it's okay, do it again, eat more cake, skip today, don't work out, don't exercise, don't forgive, don't reach out, delay, do it tomorrow, mañana, all these things. This is all the klipot, because the Satan is like the source, and then klipot is like little helpers that help him do his job. And they latch onto our consciousness, and kind of the more you continue in your reactivity, the more they build up, and the blockage becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's why sometimes it takes, for people that are not necessarily very proactive, when they start to do spiritual work, they can go through shocking experiences, or backwards. If people are not spiritual, when their klipot are becoming too strong, the mercy of the Creator is actually when they go through hardship to cleanse those klipot away. Like it says it's actually very interesting, like the Creator imposed more work on the Israelites in Egypt. And that's what made them cry out to the Creator and to ask for help. Like the famous story of Baal Shem Tov, where Baal Shem Tov goes to make a long story short, he was a very humble, simple man, in the truest sense of it. And he wouldn't eat a lot, he was more about wisdom, connection, love, happiness. But he goes to this one couple with his students, very poor, and he goes into their house and he asks for food, which he also never did usually. Food was usually offered. He eats, he finishes, he keeps eating. He basically doesn't stop until the whole house is empty. Until the whole house is emptied of all food. The only thing that was left is a skinny little cow that provided the couple with milk, with which they made cheese, butter, and they made some money with that. And they knew the holiness of the Baal Shem Tov, and they didn't want to refuse him, so they decided to slaughter the cow. They slaughter the cow. The Baal Shem Tov finally leaves, and he leaves them. And the students were confused. They were like, why did you do that? Like, you're usually not hungry. You finished everything. You ate 10 times more than any one of us did. Like, what happened? And he's like, there's a miracle about to be happen, and they are not praying for it enough. So a few years go by. One of the students sees the man from this couple, and he sees him in a beautifully dressed with family and kids and money and luxurious and happy. And he comes up to him. He's like, do you remember I came over to you with Baal Shem Tov? He's like, of course. And that was the best day of my life. And he's like, tell me what happened. After you left, I was at the point zero. I had no option. The only thing that I could do was to cry to God. Cry and pray to the Creator. He left his house, he said, and he started praying and begging and asking Creator to help him, because there was nothing. He literally was left with nothing. There was no food in the whole house. He prayed, he begged, he asked, and eventually, all of a sudden, a huge miraculous opportunity came into his life that helped him make millions of rubles and make him wealthy, satisfied, happy. It brought him and his wife closer. They had kids, they have sustenance, etc. So that day, even though from one perspective looked like it was the worst day of his life, right? When everything was finished. But in reality, in actual truth, that was the best day, because it connected to his self, where he wasn't satisfied with what he had anymore. He started to say that I want more in life. I want more, I need more, and I need the Creator to help me. This is a beautiful understanding, that if you come to this place, we actually should be in this place every single day. Imagine this, think about this. Imagine every single day, how do we wake up? More or less satisfied. You wake up, thank God we have our house, we have our uh, people that we love, we have our transportation, we have our work, whatever it is, whatever our life of normal is, we thank God have it. And thank God and we appreciate it. However, that also builds a level of contentment, of content, where you're okay with it. You know what? It's fine. It's okay. It's big deal. I'm living a good life. Oh, I wish I had that, right? But whatever. And we, day by day, we live in that. And sometimes we live too much in the future, thinking good things will come. Or some people live too much in the past, or that, oh, those were the days. Neither one is good. If you're thinking those days will come, you're living too much in the future. Not spiritual, not a healthy choice. If you're living too much in the past, things were so great in the past, not good. Things need to be amazing right now. Things need to be incredible, mind-blowing, incredible, amazing, satisfying, miraculous, magical right now, every single second. Every single second. Right now, we should have the biggest revelation of our life. The biggest. Continuous. That's what our existence is. That's why we were created. The Creator created us to be content, to constantly be satisfied, to constantly be in a state where miracles are happening to us on such a frequent basis. So many miracles are happening to us constantly that we're just, we're overwhelmed with it and we're feeling really blessed. So we want to be in the state of craving the light, continuously, but also have it not in a way of like I'm like like a second class citizen or something, but be excited. This is again where we talk about the idea of mati velomati, very important concept in Kabbalah that everyone here should know. As someone wakes you up in the middle of the night, it's mati velomati. Mati velomati means yes and no, here, not here, content but not satisfied, etc. All these explanations, yes and no at the same time. This is what our mind separates from a computer. A computer cannot understand the idea of 1 and 0 and 1 together. The computer has only one understanding, 0 and 1. When you break down the language of computers, the computers right now, our phones, everything, it's operating on the bilinear language, which is a yes or no, plus or minus, 1 or 0. The computer has no ability to understand the idea of a yes and a no, here and not here, satisfied but not content, etc. The computer has absolutely no ability to do that. Only humans are able to do that. Only human beings are able to do that. And the more you're able to do that, the higher your level of consciousness is. The more I'm able to understand, wow, this situation is not so good, it could be better, but also I'm very happy with it. That's a high level of consciousness. But the high level of consciousness that we want to break down and understand and take away and absorb is this idea that, yes, I'm satisfied with my life. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. However, I need more. I need more, Creator. I need more. I need more wisdom. I need more consciousness. I need more love. I need more positivity. I need more sustenance. I need more blessings. I need more health. I need more strength. I need more consciousness. I need more focus. I need these things. I need them, Creator. Give them to me. I want more of them. So being in a state of satisfaction is a very dangerous state. Doesn't matter what you are. You're Bill Gates, you're the Queen of England, or you're, I don't know, the President of China, whatever it is that you think that you are, you should never be content. Never. If you are experiencing the feeling of content, you're not experiencing what you should be. Not at all, not even close. You should not be experiencing just content. You should be like, wow, this is amazing. I feel it. I have this already. I am wise. I have plenty of time. I have plenty of money. I have plenty of consciousness. I have plenty of it, but I need more. I need more. I want more. Being in a state and asking for more, not being satisfied. Not being satisfied with just me having whatever it is that I have. Now, this is not an easy place to get to because 99, 99% of the world is satisfied. 99% of the world is very satisfied. 99% of our life, we're very satisfied. Who does any one of us, like we wake up every single day craving to ask for air, or craving to ask for water, or craving to ask for food, or craving to ask for consciousness? We're set, we're satisfied, we're happy with how we are. No, it's okay, it's good, it's okay, you know. And there's different variations, you know. The more fire you have in your chart, the more constant desire you have, right? The Aries, the Leos, and the Sag, it's the fires of the zodiac. That's their energy of not to be satisfied. However, their thing is they don't follow through, right? If you are a fire sign, you need to make sure you're following through those things. But they have a very healthy desire. That's what we want right now. We want to activate our such a strong desire for more. I want more, everything in my life. Obviously, the most important thing in life is consciousness, right? I want more revelation of consciousness. I want more wisdom. Every single day, continuously, I start my day, I am thinking, whenever I have a free moment, I'm asking Creator, I want more. We don't want to be placed in the of that man from the story, where he had to go to such an extreme, a miracle that Baal Shem Tov, a huge Kabbalist, came to him and performed this miracle for him. We don't want to go through this extreme. We want to go through it very proactively. We want to go through it in a very proactive way. We want to go through it in a way that it comes from us internally. Creator, show me. I want more vision. I want more insight. I want more revelation. I want more consciousness. I want a higher level of myself. I want to impact the world more. I need to impact the world more. I want to have an ability to impact the reality, this human race, in a higher way. So the Satan way is being very satisfied, being very heavy, being very earthly, very grounded, very not moving, very, you know, this is the depression. This is where depression comes from, by the way, the energy of Satan, you know, we're just like in the mud and just like and going and trying. But you want to go to the extreme, the fire of that, the fire energy. You want to activate the desire. You have full faith that things are getting better, that things are getting better constantly, and they can get better. And they can be so much better the higher level of consciousness I have. So I want to activate this desire and have this healthy, strong desire for having more, wanting more, reaching out, caring less about what people say about me, caring less about what people think I do, etc., and just going for it, having stronger desire. That's our purpose, actually. That's not something like a side topic of Kabbalah that, oh, you should do this also. But no, this is what you should do, period. You should have an extremely healthy, strong desire for the light. I want to have better relationships. I want to have better communication. I want to have higher level of consciousness. I want to be able to understand the Zohar. Why don't you? Who cares that you don't speak Hebrew or Aramaic? Take it to the next level, whatever it is for you. Learn the alphabet, learn the language, learn the letters, etc. You want to impact the world more. Ask around, ask your teacher, how can I impact the world more? What can I do? Are you in a constantly state of realizing what kind of lessons are you learning in your life? What life lessons are you learning right now? And are you ready to learn them fully? Or are you still in a state of content? This is something that obviously our teacher, the Rav, was like literally the sun in this, because his desire, his motivation, his continuous moving forward was something that was not comparable to anyone that I've seen in this world. No one in this world. Because it was somebody who is sometimes, you know, people that are involved in business have this desire, right? To make more money, to make more, right? So that's what they do. But when a person has that in spirituality, this is something very rare. And this is the combination that the Rav had. The Rav had this combination of extremely strong desire and also extremely spiritual. So, and that's obviously what we want to get, right? Being students of the Rav if you're a student of a Kabbalah center for a few years, and if you accept Kabbalah as your way in a Kabbalah center, that means the Rav and Karen Berg are your spiritual teachers in the upper world. In the upper world, we have our own teachers, depending on what you practice. If you practice Hinduism, you're going to have different ones. If you practice if you're a Christian, you're going to have someone else. If you practice only Judaism and strictly religious, I don't know who you're gonna have, but you're gonna have someone else. It's kind of like our spiritual assistants, our spiritual teachers, right? So for me, my spiritual teachers are Rav and Karen Berg. And the Rav's consciousness was all about more. It was never about being satisfied. Every lecture that the Rav gave on Shabbat was different. It was a new revelation. New revelation. You met the Rav, he constantly transformed himself. The Rav was never a set entity. The Rav was a continuously evolving entity. This is the new thing that I say about in Ana Bekoach meditation that we do, about constantly recreating yourself. Constantly recreate yourself. If you're telling yourself right now, oh, I'm not that kind of person, I don't have a desire, I'm just not like that. Change it right now. Throw that out, send it back to wherever it came from. Tell yourself you are that kind of person right now. Make a decision. You are who you say you want to be. And you are who you say you are. Not who you were 5 seconds ago, not who you were 5 years ago, not who you were in your childhood. You are who you decide to be. And the most beautiful thing is that we have such a powerful tool. We have a 72 names, which is such a powerful tool to help us do that, to help us be on this level constantly. Not to, throughout the day, sometimes you have a day when everything is great, right? And you're just flowing and things are just working and it's just great. Some days are heavier and you feel like you're, pushing a stone, pushing a mountain and nothing is moving. However, you can always be connecting to this consciousness saying, you know what, it doesn't matter what I feel or what I see is happening, huge changes happening in my life. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Tell it to yourself constantly, especially when things are not working or you feel like you're going back to your reactive state and you're like, oh, I'm being that way again. No, every day, every way, I'm getting better and better. So a lot about desire. That's why it's also the revelation of the burning bush, the fire. Fire is connecting to desire, but it's also the desire that follows through. So we want to have a perfect balance in ourselves. We don't just want to have a big desire and nothing happens. We want to have a big desire and we're emotionally happy, we're intellectually happy, and we're also manifested in reality. This is the balance of all the elements in ourself. And one thing that we also want to remember is not to be fearful, to be brave and to be courageous. Because a lot of spirituality, one of the main attributes actually that you have as people, as students of Kabbalah, is courage, is being courageous. Because throughout your whole life, you were probably raised like me, not necessarily telling you directly that not to worry or think about spirituality, but we weren't raised with a consciousness of spirituality. So to do such a change, to go from such robotic consciousness to all of a sudden be so proactive, that's a lot of courage. That's a lot of courage. To believe in change is very courageous. To believe that we change, to believe that we will change, to believe that we are changing, to believe that things around us are going to change, that requires a lot of courage. So that's a beautiful attribute that we want to have. So that's it for the class. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And at the end, as always, we're going to do our meditation where we take whatever we accumulated through wisdom, which is the element of air, and bring it down into our body through the water and the fire and the earth. So we want to bring it down into our consciousness. And the meditation is obviously always very simple. You know how to meditate, you don't know how to meditate, it makes no difference. You do know how to meditate, doesn't matter what you think about it. If you don't think it, you can meditate, change it right now. Tell yourself you're a great meditator, an amazing meditator, the best one there is in the world. And we want to ground ourselves, be close to our heart, be in our heart. And want to be relaxed. One thing about meditation is to be more relaxed and pull energy of the light from the bottom of our feet coming from earth, and feel it come through our entire body and peak at the top of our head and form a beautiful ball of light. And then you want to pretend and imagine that you are in this ball of light. And we're sending this ball of light up into the air, to our universe, through layers of lights, through a bright light, a golden light, a jello-like substance, and then we enter the creator. In short, you want to imagine yourself being surrounded by beautiful pearl-like energy. Pearl-like energy of the light, unconditional love, soothing, relaxing energy. You want to melt and become one with this energy. And here we want to accumulate and bring into our consciousness, into our body, this new strong desire. Having a very strong backbone where our certainty and our faith is not withered by whatever is happening around us. So we want to meditate and think and ask the Creator to amplify our faith, our certainty. In Hebrew, emunah, or vadaut, or vadai. So we want to ask Creator, if you want to receive the Creator's definition of faith, the Creator's definition of certainty, the Creator's definition of knowing that the light is always with me, say yes. And then you want to experience and feel this strong support, this strength, this power inside of you, this burning fire that awakens your desire to connect to the light, awakens your desire to change, awakens your desire to transform. Imagine it burning anything around you that ever did, can, or could stop you from going after your goals and desires. A strong, strong energy of certainty, energy of absolute faith. Fully understanding, realizing that we're capable of anything and everything we set our mind to. And we want to create an openness, an open communication with the light, with the Creator, to help us to receive more and more guidance about how do we accomplish whatever it is that we want to accomplish. So if you want that download of having this open communication with the light, say yes. And feel yourself being very simple. Your thoughts are very clear. You're very focused. You're very clear-minded. There's a simple flow of energy. Where doubt, fears, uncertainty have absolutely no room. Absolutely no space. We We also want to receive the download and the light, the energy of the 72 names of the Creator of God. We want to put it as our homework, but we want to study these names. We want to connect to their light. We want to know them. We want to be familiar with them. But also to begin this process, we want to receive this energy directly from the Creator. So if you want that, say yes. And try to envision yourself as you are, as the Israelites were before crossing the Red Sea. This is where we want to be. We want to be in that mindset that we're able to overcome anything and everything that's in front of us. And as well as connecting to energy of unconditional love and total peace and tranquility. Sensing this peace, tranquility within us, within our soul, within our consciousness. Perfect state of bliss. Also, whoever wants, sending you unconditional love, healing, wisdom from the Creator. If you want it, say yes. And before you open your eyes, just rinse yourself in this light, fill yourself up with it again, and open your eyes. Okay, everyone. Every day in every way, we're getting better and better. How does it get any better? Have an amazing week. Have a beautiful, prosperous, blessed, faithful, certain week. And see you in a week. See you next Monday. And